Welcome back to Answer to Abductees. This is another episode with great abduction stories with analysis from our expert. If you have any abduction case that you want us to analyze, send us to this email. We're going to make sure that we send you the email with the explanation, and if you allow us, we will share with other abductees or non-abductees that want to understand more about this phenomenon. I hope you learn more about yourself and your story and enjoy it. Check it out.
This case we're going to discuss, which we're going to show how studies are done, how we guide people. It's a telepathy case from a young man from the South. So his report. I've been seeing spacecraft in the sky for some time now. More precisely, for about 6 years. The first one I saw was on a night when I was lying in a hammock, playing the guitar, very calm and relaxed. It was the brightness of the stars and the moon, which was somewhat bluish and brighter when I saw it. It was a triangular-shaped ship, almost hovering, passing slowly over the house. I was somewhat terrified by that, but I thought I should take a picture, and at that very moment, the ship disappeared. There was no light on it, but I saw it very clearly. It was moving slowly, and I could see its shape against the skylight. As soon as I thought about filming it, it seemed like they read my thoughts. I reflected a lot on this and saw that somehow I might be able to do this because I believe they read my thoughts, and I began to research a lot about spirituality, telepathy, and extraterrestrials. Well, actually, what he reports here, he saw the ship arrived. And then, as soon as he thought, no, I'm going to take a photo, it disappeared, the ship lights were off, it was a triangular ship, and then they read his thought or not, right? It is recorded here in this report. Did they read his thought or not? Yes, they read his thought, didn't they? In fact, you have chips in your body that allow this. So the moment you thought, I'm going to photograph this ship, and they left. So let's continue. On one of those nights, I got pretty annoyed and went to sleep frustrated. I couldn't sleep, and around 3:30 in the morning, I saw a very strong flash in the sky, closer to the horizon. I asked myself, could it be them? Then, a ship lit up right after, indicating that they responded, yes, it was a very strong orange light, and I realized it was an extraterrestrial ship, and my legs went weak. I ended up getting very emotionally involved with the event, but I thought a lot about them being beings of light, and that I could ask them some personal questions, and so he ended up asking, he said, it was answered by signs. The entities responded. They answered about 3 personal questions afterward. They turned on the orange light and began to move away. What happened? Why did they move away? And why are these contacts always brief? As we have, following the logic of our courses, we used to live in the age of Pisces, where there wasn't the famous 4th time, the supine time, and who mediated these relations between extraterrestrials and humans was a mediation from the terrestrial magnetic world that functions as a monitor to ETs when they have an intelligent contact with people. That's how it is. They're going to pass knowledge, they're going to pass telepathy, those things. It gets interrupted. Why? Because that magnetic part comes in and cut, and the ETs have to flee. Because what happens? If the ETs stay, the magnetic world ends up interfering with them. It even causes an accident with these extraterrestrials, who end up getting trapped in Earth's magnetic field. That's why they make contact, pass knowledge, and leave. And who are the people that are abducted? Who are here? These people are actually, right? Incarnations of extraterrestrial beings in human form who have died here and were born in human form due to the magnetic laws that trap their spirits on Earth. And the ETs come to make contact which eventually gets cut off. The number one mission has always been to connect with extraterrestrials that reincarnated on Earth. With those ETs who ended up getting trapped here in the magnetic mesh, to return to their place of origin, after dying hereafter, had a normal life here. We don't want them to have a life of reincarnations trapped on this planet, in this system. This is our focus. Explaining in a very simple way, roughly speaking. I looked out the window and saw the time on the microwave clock. I noted it down to write the account on paper of what time I had seen, and to keep that moment for the rest of my life. And it was 3:51 in the morning. I also have the habit of picking up the Bible at important moments in my life, closing my eyes and saying a prayer for help. That day, I went down into the house and extended my hands and opened a random page and fell on a part I had never seen before. Maccabee, the book 2, and what caught my attention was that book, verse 3 of chapter 15, being. The reverse of the contact time, 3 and 51. So 3 verse 15, it said so. Then that bull looked to the heavens, and he felt, I wondered if there was any living God in him. Then answering him right, he put in parentheses, the ship does indeed light up to the living and almighty God in heaven who sent to keep Saturday's power. Detail, it was Saturday night when I read this. I started to cry and ended up falling on my knees and thanking. Well, he goes reporting, he highlights. We point out that I got sick because I couldn't talk about this with my family. I have a strong impression that I am watched even in my thoughts. We answered, right? Yes, these beings do have this monitoring for your side. Well, the questions he has since then. When I go outside the house at night or in the early morning and start thinking about them, soon I see some flashes of light in the sky indicating that they are nearby. When I call them, yes, you are monitored. I've been dreaming about ships and abductions for some time now, and this makes me happy and at the same time restless in the sense of not having explanations, answers. Actually, I would like to know if there is something I can do in terms of getting closer to these beings. Is to seek to resolve this extrasensory part of yours, that we have these courses on our non-profit to better tune into their energy, to seek an alignment, because they have everything to do with the basis of your siege. You, in fact, would be one of them in human form.